look ahead, see the light. Now, this is a really big one for me, and I don't think it gets quite the emphasis that it deserves. Horizontal eyes looking down the slope where you're going. I can't tell you how many times I've seen even instructors or friends trying to help somebody ski better, and they're focusing on 1,000,005 different things. They're talking about leg position and where they're skiing, but in fact, a lot of the problems are due to them staring about 2 or 3 meters in front of them. Better balance. If you ever get car sick when you're in a car, I bet you don't get car sick when you drive, because your focus is going to be on the road and looking ahead. If anybody ever gets sick on a boat, they try and give them the actual wheel and tell them to look ahead. That will make them feel more connected to the ship. Now, if you've ever put a kid on a bike and they look at the floor, they're going to wobble and fall off. Again, their balance is impaired. And realistically, all balance is trying to do is keep your eyes horizontal and looking ahead. The other things when it comes to skiing specifically is if you start looking at a point that you're going to try and turn on, it's going to encourage a much more of a zigzag shape to your turn. It's a classic mistake. That looks okay, I'm going to go there, make my turn, happen on that spot, and then start looking for another one. And it's going to make your turns extremely individual little events and also encourage the zigzag.
If you focus on a spot, you'll definitely head in a straight line towards it, make the turn, then repeat. You'll find it virtually impossible to link your turns and much harder to control your speed.
The other thing is, you won't really be able to read the slope and get an idea what's going to happen. You really want to be a couple of steps ahead when you're skiing down. So looking just at the spot you're going to turn on is going to create lots of issues.
When you focus on a spot across the slope, all the information in the background is completely irrelevant, as you're never going to ski on it. If you can focus more down the hill without even realising it, your brain will take in heaps of useful information, giving you the ability to take a much better line. For the speed and the turn shape I'm taking down here, this is pretty much where I'll be looking, and I'm constantly scanning the area for information. And because I have my early warning system turned on, any information in this area won't surprise me, allowing me to constantly adapt my line and ski the run as a run.
The other thing it's going to really help with is also the upper body. Now, you're much more likely to keep your torso and upper body looking a little bit more down the hill if your head is actually facing that way. I never see anybody just looking at a spot that they're going to turn on without actually turning the whole body. So keeping your head a bit more neutral is going to help that body position.
You can clearly see it here. When the head is whipped round to try and look across the slope, the shoulders will follow. Watch again. It wouldn't matter how many exercises you work on trying to keep your shoulders calmer, if you don't look down the hill, you'll constantly try and twist them across the slope. Your head position will have a massive influence over your upper body. You don't need to keep your chest facing 100% down the hill all the time. That's probably a topic, to be honest, for another film. But if your head is directed more down the hill, it will go a long way to help calming down your upper body.
it's really often something I'll see when somebody's maybe intimidated or a little bit out of their comfort zone. Don't become this tense, nervous skier in this little bubble. Eyes up, look where you're going.
Even if you're a pretty experienced skier, don't think you're immune to this problem. If intimidation raises its head, you'll often drop yours. Make sure you stay on top of it. If you can improve your skiing in 4 ways by focusing on one simple thing, you've got to admit it's a pretty good deal.
Remember, horizontal eyes looking down the slope. It's going to help your balance, your line choice, the shape of your turn, and your body position.